Hey, how's it going? Can you guys just let me know if you can hear me? Hey, how's it going? Oh, sweet. Just let me know if you can hear me. Hey, how's it going? Oh, sweet. Sorry about the feedback loop there. Everybody can hear me, that's awesome. I guess I'm out of excuses then why I don't live stream more. That's great. Thank you to Chris Hay and to Dave Cam for getting me up and running. Yes, Tom Jones, I am live. How are you, man? Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out this whole live stream thing. So I don't have your chat on my screen. I have the chat on a separate screen, so that's why I keep looking off to the left. But anyway, can you guys let me know how the stream quality is? Is it coming through at a reasonable frame rate? Am I planning on streaming a lot? Maybe. I don't know if I can actually drive and talk to you guys and read chat at the same time. I'm not that talented. I don't know how guys do it, but I'd like to. I'd certainly like to. We'll see how things go. Everything looks good. That's great. That's great. It's funny, it's not working on my side screen. Let me try it again. How's everyone doing out there? Is everyone in quarantine and just chilling at home or what? What's been going on with you guys? Oh, there we go. Okay, looks like it's working better now. Just do what Jimmy Broadbent does and crash while talking. Yeah, that would probably be how it goes. That's for sure. Did you guys watch that race today with the real drivers and Jimmy and I think Steve Brown might have been in that one? They had like 14,000 views or concurrent viewers actually. It's crazy. That's like an arena full of people all watching sim racing. It's pretty amazing. You're Italian and it's crazy in there. Yeah, Italy. We're thinking about you, man. Every day we get reports of the amount of people dying and the amount of people sick over there. It's awful. It's awful. So we're thinking about you for whatever that's worth. The whole world is with you. We're thinking about you. Lando had 105,000 viewers on. Oh my goodness, really? That's crazy. And Brandon, no, I will not be a pro streamer anytime soon. Thank you, I appreciate the vote of confidence, but I doubt it'll come through like that. But we will see, we will see. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing this for more than a few minutes just to test things out, so I appreciate the feedback. Anything you guys want to talk about? Any questions for me? Anything sim racing related? Otherwise, I'll just sit here in awkward silence. Because everyone loves that. Is this AMS2? No, this is Assetto Corsa. I just did some random background footage just so I could test out the stream. AMS2 is kind of what I'm thinking I will go to when I do start live streaming because it runs so efficiently. I'm so blown away by how good the Madness engine runs AMS2. It's remarkable. If you can run Project Cars 2, you can run AMS2, which is fantastic considering that ACC is the other current generation sim and it takes a powerhouse of a PC just to run it. So I can't believe how well the Madness engine runs. Have I played any more of the AMS2 beta? Yes, I have. I've played quite a lot of it. Between ACC and AMS2, that's pretty much all of my sim racing time right now. I'm hearing mixed from the community about AMS2. I really like it personally. I think it looks great. I think it has most of everything that AMS1 had, and I think it feels really great. The sounds are great, the graphics are great, so it gets my, thumbs up. But that's certainly not a unanimous thing within the community. I'm hearing a lot of people don't like how it drives, so it's really going to depend on the person. Like all sims, it's going to depend on the person, but I think it's fantastic personally. Hello, Ferrari-Man 601. I am doing great. How are you doing? I'm hearing not good things about COVID in the US right now. I hope you're doing well, man. It's scary stuff. it's scary stuff. I've been seeing the sort of exponential growth of COVID down in the US, and it's terrifying, man. Most of my family's in the US, and I just, man, it just scares me how fast it's growing down there. So I hope you're doing well, man. Sean Cobb, hey Mike, with all the COVID things going around, so great to have people put out videos and stream, keep a majority of us from going totally insane. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm here right now, because what I'm finding right now is, even though I'm quarantined, even though I'm at home, I somehow just find myself with less time to put together videos. I don't know why that is, doesn't really make sense, but I'm just not having the production time right now. So I wanted to see if I could try out a live stream and sort of eliminate the production side of things and just bring you guys more content. Because I really think the best thing for everybody to do right now is just to hang out at home. And so for my part, with the limited reach I have on YouTube, but you know, somewhat decent amount of subscribers, I was hoping to provide more content for you guys and hopefully ease the pain of staying at home so much, a little bit, or as much as I can. Ferrari says, it's getting to be big trouble. Everything here is shut down. Badness. That's a good thing. That's goodness. I think, and I'm no virologist, that's for sure, but I think if everybody just chills for a couple weeks, everybody just relaxes, stays inside, watches Ferrari 601 videos, and is, you know, isolated from all their peers as much as possible, except of course for essential services. Everyone's going to take a hit financially. It sucks, but at least it'll keep the death toll down. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't know if you guys saw Gamer Muscle. He did a video earlier today, and he was kind of advocating the same thing. Everybody just chill out. It's a couple in and then this thing hopefully will be mostly behind us. We can stem the growth of it, so let's hope. Let's hope. Here in the UK, the government are really struggling to get people to stay at home. Here too. I'm in Western Canada. I'm in the Vancouver area, and I'm a member of a number of Vancouver-related sites, and it's the same thing. Like, people will post pictures of parks with hundreds of people in it. It's just like, do you guys not get it? Like, can you just not go for a run? Or I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like the sensible thing would be to stay inside, but who am I? Who am I to say? I'm not a virologist, like I said. Oh, Tom Jones, thank you very much. That's an awesome thing to do. I appreciate the donation, man. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. When is, just going back a bit, am I going to do some iRacing? No, I'm not an iRacer. Funny enough, I actually have an active iRacing account. I forgot to cancel it before my renewal was up, so I'm actually paying for an iRacing subscription for the next 3 months, I think, but I'm not using it. iRacing just doesn't work for me. I think it's great for what it is. I think it's a great driving sim, and of course the feeling you get when jumping in with other real people and duking it out online is really cool, but I just can never get the timing to work out. You know, you got to go in, you got to do a practice, a quali, and a race, and it just, to me, it takes up so much time. I still consider sim racing, even though it's bigger than a video game, I still do consider sim racing to be a video game. So I like to do it on my time, on my terms, and so I just can't really make iRacing work, unfortunately. But no slight on iRacing itself, it just doesn't work for me. When is AMS2 release? The end of this month, and I haven't heard otherwise. I'm pretty active on the Rita, whatever forums, and I haven't seen, what's his name, Renato? I haven't seen him post anything about delaying the release, so what is it, 31 days in March? Now I feel stupid. This is why I like to edit. It's supposed to be the end of this month. I believe it's the 31st, so about 10 days away, 9 days away, thereabouts, we should have AMS2. Any hardware reviews coming up you can't talk about? Well, I can't talk about it, Tom. Yes, I do have some hardware reviews, or at least one hardware review. Next Level Racing. Ooh, can you guys see it? I got a nice little Next Level Racing sign there. They are sending me a new cockpit to review. It's their cool new one that folds up tiny, and you can keep the hardware on it. It looks really sweet. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I gotta have that. That's perfect for my living room. And the guys from Next Level Racing actually reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to review this? And yes, of course I do. So that should be coming very, very soon. If AC had the same rating and online system, it would be epic. I assume you mean ACC. Yeah, if they had the more in common with iRacing as far as the online, it would be pretty much all the sim racing I do, and I think that would go for a lot of us. Probably we get sick of GT3 eventually, but yeah, for the time being, I mean, it would be awesome. I think, though, the limitation, I think the difference between ACC and iRacing is the fact that iRacing spends a lot on server space, if I'm not mistaken, and that's what your monthly subscription mostly goes to. So ACC and Kunos, they don't have that, and, you know, it's a one-time fee to buy ACC, and so I think that's the major difference in why they can't go with the same online system. Could be wrong. Thanks for the showcase of my screenshots in the competition. Afternoon from New Zealand. Good afternoon in New Zealand. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm sorry, I don't really recognize that name, but the screenshot contest or the photo contest that I had, that was awesome. There were so many great photos, and I still use them as my desktop background for what that's worth. I thought that was really, really fun, and I might do it again soon. Make sure to give Mike a thumbs up for the live stream. Thank you, Tom. Tom, you're awesome, man. I appreciate all the support. Would I say AMS2 is better than the original? And I'm not trying to be political here. Yes. But it's not easy to say yes. Okay, it's if you look at the overall sim and you don't weight anything. Okay, let's say that graphics, is that too loud? Sorry. Let's say that graphics matter as much as audio, matter as much as the drivability, matter as much as any other facet. Then yes, AMS2 is definitely a better sim than AMS1. However, what really connected me to AMS1 was the drivability of the cars, the feeling, the fantastic force feedback, and the physics, the feeling of being on edge. I connected really well with AMS1, and it was probably that, and R Factor 2 was probably my favorite driving experiences, and I haven't yet captured that magic in AMS2. I think the physics are great, but there's a difference between the force feedback between AMS1 and AMS2. And I talked about it in the video I released today. AMS1 to me still has that advantage in force feedback detail. And so if you're basing it strictly on which one do I enjoy hot lapping more in, and racing for that matter, I would say AMS1. But is AMS2 a better overall game? Yes, I would say it is. So it depends on how much weight you put into how the sim drives. I hope that makes sense. Waiting for AMS2 to release their photo mode. I haven't heard anything about it. I assume there will be one. Yeah, there was a good one in Project Cars too, so presumably because it's the Madness engine, they will use one in AMS2 as well. Question answered right on, Tom. AMS2 doesn't have the staying power, or like when I played ACC for the first time, that wow factor. It's interesting to read that ACC had a first-time wow factor for you, because it did for me as well. But I remember when the early release, when was that? September of 2018, was it? When they first went into early access for ACC. And I remember spending that whole day watching, who was it? Gamer Muscle and Jimmy Broadbent and all these guys reviewing it. And we had the Lamborghini and we had Nürburgring GP, and that was pretty much it. And I remember how underwhelmed they sounded. So I thought it was great personally, but I remember a lot of other people not being so blown away. So it's cool to hear that you had that wow factor as well. And yeah, I understand AMS2 doesn't necessarily have that wow factor as well, but I think it's certainly an improvement overall versus AMS1. Fox Sports is going to show NASCAR sim racing now that the real stuff is on hold. Sim racing might grow. Let's hope. Let's hope. It's the hobby we all love. It's been, you know, great for me. I've connected with so many people around the world, and a lot of people in this community now I consider friends, and it's overall a very supportive community, and you know, it would be great if it opens up and more people join for sure. Hello S McG, how are you, man? Placed event. Yes, Chuck does hot laps. Well, I went to Taco Bell earlier and forgot to ask for a bunch of sauce. Ended up with none. Feels pretty bad, man. Chuck, my heart goes out to you, buddy. Console gamer here, playing GT for 20 plus years. Me too. AC and Project 2, Cars 2, but can't justify the cost of a PC and rig for AMS. Could you go into detail about ACC versus GT and Project Cars 2? If you can't justify the cost, well, okay, let's say you did find the money and decided to go all in on sim racing, and you went with ACC. I think probably initially you'll be a little bit underwhelmed. I think ACC really shines in its subtleties. Well, okay, there's some very obvious things. I think the graphics look very good. The sounds are fantastic. But what really gives ACC its staying power is sort of the drivability of the cars, and it's frustrating at first. I remember when I first drove ACC, I was constantly spinning, and it varied so much car to car that until I found the car I connected with most, which at this point is the Lexus, I remember taking different cars out and just being frustrated by how different one went to the next. But eventually you sort of settle into a groove with ACC, and yeah, it's fantastic. And like I say, it might catch your interest for the visuals or the sounds, but what gives it its staying power is sort of the subtleties of the way it drives. And yeah, so now, would I recommend, if you're happy with your Gran Turismo setup, console only, would I recommend investing the $2,000 into a rig and PC just for ACC? No, that's a big leap. In my opinion, it should be sort of a progression, and a lot of sim tubers have got into that. I think Chris Hay, who else? Sim Racing Paddock, maybe Random Call Sign, did some stuff about how to get into PC sim racing on the cheap, and I recommend you go that way. Don't spend a lot initially. As good as ACC is, just be careful. Don't spend too much up front, because you might not be too blown away by it, quite frankly. Why no triples? Asking for a friend. Yeah, triples to me is a space thing. I'm in my garage right now. I could just about reach out and touch my wife's car, and then wall right here. So I don't have a lot of space to work with. There's about 2 inches between my single monitor and the wall, and then over here I need this space for doing car repairs or whatever. So no triples in my life. Sorry, Tom. And let's see. ACC proved a lot of people wrong, turned out to be a great sim, and hopefully AMS2 will do the same. Agreed. Are we going to race AMS2 tonight? I should. I got to get going pretty soon here. I got to get back to being a dad and husband. Appreciate and enjoy your perspective, and you always come across as sincere. Thank you. I might not always be right with what I say, but I truly believe in myself. Wish you all the best. I'm going to bed. Kate, thank you very much for stopping by. ACC is coming to consoles anyway. That's very true. I totally missed that in my last little mini ACC rant. Yeah, totally. ACC will be on console this June. I mean, Kunos, to my knowledge, is based in Italy, so I don't know how things are shaking out over there. It wouldn't surprise me if that date gets pushed back a bit, but hopefully sometime in the summer we will see ACC on console, and that would be a fantastic thing. I think it's going to be hands down the best racing sim on console. And I'm hearing that the next generation of consoles are actually backward compatible with all your current gen games, which is awesome. So hopefully ACC will, when you buy it for your PlayStation 4 or your Xbox One, when we get into the next generation, you'll still be able to play it, which is great. What's my take on the perspectives of newer VR 2.0 head-mounted displays, 4K resolution per eye, and no screen door effect? Yeah, that's an interesting one. I love VR. I don't run it as much as I used to, just because I'm doing so much recording, and VR is kind of a nightmare to record with. You can forget to start the recording sometime and not know it because you're blind to it. And also sometimes you choose the wrong microphone. So it's kind of a logistical nightmare, but I do enjoy VR. The problem I have with the next generation of head-mounted displays and 8K resolution, 4K per eye, that kind of thing, is it's going to demand so much horsepower from the video card. And already the current gen of video cards are so expensive, because I am looking to upgrade my 1080 card that I have in my machine right now. So I was looking at like a 2080 Ti, and it's something crazy right now, like $1,700 Canadian. That's more than I spent on the rest of my PC altogether. Or sorry, that's more than I spent on my entire PC that I'm running now. So it's like, if we keep pushing the resolution on these head-mounted displays, unless there's some efficiency they find, unless somebody writes an algorithm that makes VR fantastically efficient, I mean, it's just going to keep getting more and more expensive to get into the current gen of VR. So I think probably what I would like to see, rather than just getting more and more resolution, is to get things more efficient in the world of VR, and hopefully we can take the current gen of video cards, which are breaking the bank for most of us, and just kind of settle on that for a while. Let's just find a way to make that enough, because I don't want, okay, let's say I did go out and buy my 2080 Ti tomorrow, okay, and I spent $2,000 Canadian on it. I don't want it to be obsolete in a year. I don't want them to come out with a 3080 Ti that I need to run the next generation of VR. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of an escalating thing, and I don't want it to get out of hand. So I'd like to see them take current VR and make it more efficient, rather than just keep pushing the resolution, personally. The wife doesn't have to know, says Ferrari Man 601. Well, we share an account, so she will know. And my coach isn't too comfortable, so I just got to be careful with that. Yeah, honey, where did all our money go? Yeah. Given that we have similar content in R-Factor 2 and AMS, I wonder what it'll be. Sorry, I wonder what will be the it factor in AMS2 to make people pay for content they already own. Will dynamic weather be enough reason to buy AMS2? Good question. Very good question. And I've been giving some thought to this, because I plan between now and the end of the month, I do plan to do sort of a, who should buy AMS2 kind of video. And I've been thinking, like, I love it, but it's hard to say somebody who owns AMS1, is it just a graphical upgrade to AMS2? It's more than that. I think the multiplayer is much better, and because it's got sort of some momentum behind it right now. I think the multiplayer is going to be a lot busier than anything we saw in AMS1 ever. And yeah, dynamic weather. So there's a few things to sell it, but you'd certainly be excused if you just said, well, I like how AMS1 drives and there's no new content, so why would I? But you also have to look at the roadmap for AMS2, because they've got a lot of stuff. They got GT3 and GT4 coming up this year. Am I running out of video? No, I'm good. They've got GT3, GT4 coming up this year at some point, and a few other different series that should make things interesting. A lot of new tracks coming up. So there will be some content that wasn't in AMS1 coming to AMS2. It's just not going to be at launch. So probably my recommendation for most people, because there was a lot of no VR, no buy people as well with AMS1. So if that was your sticking point, or you couldn't get past the DX9 graphics, then AMS2 would be a recommendation for me for sure. But yeah, it's definitely tricky. I thought there would be more new content, but there isn't. Play some AMS2. I should. I don't know if I can make it work. I'll tell you what. Let's agree that this has been an okay thing, and I will try and set up some AMS2 live streaming tomorrow night. So probably around this time tomorrow, I should be able to make that happen. So if you have any requests of things you want me to drive, just let me know in the comments. Cinematic Sim Racing. Hey man, how's it going? If you guys have not followed Cinematic Sim Racing, please go do so. Really some of the most beautiful, if you like that Chris Hay and Dre Marco style of video where they take a racing sim and really make it pop, really make it look like a Top Gear style video, please go follow Cinematic Sim Racing. It's fantastic. The last beta of AMS2 dropped yesterday. Yeah, that was beta 4, right? Yeah, I downloaded that. AMS2 doesn't have VR. I won't be buying it. Yeah, British Culture, it does have VR. It definitely does have VR. Ferryman 601, you're in the government, so you're in the thick of it. Just a little scary. Yeah, it's nasty, man. Whatever. Would you recommend I buy ACC or the Endurance and GT3 packs for R Factor 2? ACC. ACC, yeah. The Endurance pack is great. You could maybe look to buy that in the future, but if it's coming down to money and you had to buy one of those things, ACC or the 2 DLCs for R Factor 2, ACC gets my strong nod in that case. Hashtag more live streams. Yes, thank you, Tom. I will do my best, buddy. I'm into AMS2 because of the local content. Saw live most of the oh, right on. You're in Brazil. That's cool. Or we're in Brazil. Played AMS, but I missed the fact that weather was limited to the dry side. Yeah, I mostly drive in dry anyway when I'm sim racing, but I do like the possibility, at least, of having weather effects. Thank you, Cinematic. Nice to see you in chat. Do you think a G920 will work well with the AMS2? Yes, I really do. I tried it with my Thrustmaster T300. I spent quite a bit of time, actually, quite a few hours using the T300 in AMS2. I was very impressed with it. I thought there would be a bigger difference, but right out of the box, as soon as I plugged the T300 in, it felt great. And so G29, G920, I think will feel very good. Well, thank you, Steven. That's very nice, man. Appreciate it. Since AMS2 is based on project cards, does this mean Ryza is planning console release in the future? I'm blanking on it. That question was asked in the Ryza forums, and I would have to look it up. But I believe the answer is there's no plans right now, but because of the Madness engine, it could be ported to console. So I think what that boils down to is if sales are good, then yes, they'll look to console, but we'll see. Steam doesn't mention it. Yeah, British Culture, I've definitely played VR in AMS2, so you're good there. Mike, did I build my piece? Did you build your PC or did you buy it pre-assembled? I built it, and it was my first ever PC build. It went fine, and then I tried to build another one because I was hitting, what was it? I think it was giving me graphical glitches with Assetto Corsa or something like that. And oh, I know what it was. I tried live streaming before, funny enough, with this current PC that I'm running, and it was really choppy, and I thought it was coming down to multi-cores because I run Intel, and so I thought it was a multi-core thing, so I tried to go Ryzen. So I tried my second build and bricked the whole thing, and that was about a year ago, and I just got so frustrated that about 5 feet behind me, I have a motherboard, Ryzen CPU, and RAM that's just doing nothing. And I don't know what I did wrong, and I'm so scared that I fried the whole motherboard. So yeah, that was my PC building experience. But the one I'm running has been running solid for about 3 years. So yeah, that's my story. And thank you again, Steven, and Tom, for your donation earlier. That's very generous. Thanks, man. Ferryman 601. One thing I'll say about ACC, it does wet better than anything I've ever seen. Tremendous experience. I totally agree. There's a low spot. If anybody wants to test out how good the force feedback is in ACC, there's a low spot on the front straightaway, the start-finish straight of Monza. If you turn on heavy rain and move your car to the left side of that straightaway, and I recommend you do it in a hot lap so the water has time to build up rather than a race. And just all of a sudden you'll be driving and your force feedback will go numb for just like a fraction of a second. And it's exactly what you feel when you're driving like a real car through a puddle. They absolutely nailed it. And I agree, Ferrari man, nobody does rain like ACC. Wow, Joe Blow 10. Thank you so much, man. That's great. That's great. You guys don't have to worry about donations. I totally appreciate it, but I just appreciate you coming by to hang out. That's so awesome. Thank you so much, Joe Blow. Really appreciate it, man. Copa Classic is that they mostly race in the wet. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Missing the pub a lot. I think, yeah, I heard that Ireland and the the greater UK had shut down all the pubs, and I think it was Aidan Millward on Twitter was saying that's how serious things are getting. And what's amazing though is in Canada we have it, and there's all these notices, and our Prime Minister is on TV or on YouTube more or less every day, talking about how bad things are getting and everybody should self-quarantine and blah blah blah, and then he doesn't put anything in place to close the bars and restaurants, and people think they're being brave or they know more than the health minister, and they're going to go out and they're going to be fine. And so you still see restaurants and bars that are busy. It's just infuriating. Like I said, can you people not just take a little bit of time off? The liquor stores are still open. Go buy a 6-pack and bring it home. Anyway, you get my point. I'm not in favor of people getting together right now, so it's amazing that Canada has not followed suit with some of, I guess, the more intelligent nations in the world, which have closed down the restaurants and bars at least until this COVID-19 thing passes. Come on, Ferrari man. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Again, you guys don't have to worry about donations. It's all good. I appreciate you just coming by, but thank you so much for everyone who has donated. Let's see. At least you guys have a leader. In Brazil, we have a clown running the country, just calling it just a flu. Is that, maybe I'm confused here. I don't know a lot about Brazilian politics, but is that the same guy that was in charge when the fires were so terrible? And I remember reading a lot on Twitter about how awful the leadership was during the fires. Intelligent, have you seen our president? Don't go there, Tom Jones. I have a feeling that one of the people in chat right now is a strong supporter of your president. Hey Mike, do you like the TLCM pedals better than the CSL Elite LC? I have not tried the CSL Elites. That was one thing that was definitely missing from my review of the TLCM pedals, was that comparison. I would have loved to have done it. I don't have any contacts at Fanatec, whatever. Oh, by the way, I'm just about out of video here, so I'm going to wrap the stream up, but I appreciate you guys coming by. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I don't have any contacts with Fanatec, so I didn't get a chance to try out the CSL Elite load cell. I think they're on quite equal standing. I've since the video I did about the TLCM pedals, I have tried them a couple more times, and I really enjoy them. I think for what was the price? $199 US or something? I don't think you can do much better in terms of quality. I think they're fantastic. Who cares? And so that gets my recommendation, but that's not to say they're better than the CSL Elites. Probably if you had the Fanatec system already, there'd be no reason to go with the TLCMs, but if you're looking for an alternative to the CSL Elite load cells, then I would recommend the TLCMs. Did I say that right? Anyway, I would recommend the Thrustmaster product. Cinematic Sim Racing, thank you so much, man. Again, I appreciate the donations, but there's totally no need. I'm having a great time doing this, but I appreciate everyone just coming by. That's good enough. That's your donation, is you being here. So, but thank you to everyone. Yeah, Ferrari. We have the best president. We have the best president, all-American president. He's big league. I know a lot about presidents, know more than any president. I'm done with the impressions. That was terrible. Thank you again to Cinematic Sim Racing if I didn't say thank you already. 55 of you guys. Holy smokes, this is amazing. The new Thrustmaster pedals, that's the TLCM. That's the one. You can watch my video, or a lot of other people did videos as well if you're kind of on the fence about them. But overall, TLCM's getting great reviews. Have any tips for a sim racing beginner on what to focus on in the beginning? Just bought a G920 and a Assetto Corsa last week, but so far I'm really struggling. Yeah, just Thomas, if you could just leave one more little comment there. What are you struggling with? Like, are you struggling getting fast? Are you struggling getting consistent, or getting the games working? What are you struggling with? And I'd be happy to help. Oh, F, man. That's hilarious. Total disgrace like the world has never seen. Yeah, that's me. Okay, well, Thomas, while you're getting back, what to focus on in the beginning? I would say spend the majority of your time practicing or hot lapping. Don't look at any leaderboards at all. Don't look at what times you quote unquote should be getting. My advice to you, if you're just beginning with things, just get used to sim racing in general. If you're just starting out with the wheel, sounds like you just bought a G920. Just get used to how things feel. Try not to get too bogged down in going fast. Try not to get too bogged down in, you know, competing online and not getting wins or something like that. Just kind of keep the momentum, keep practicing, and eventually things just sort of start to click. That's the best way I could describe it. But definitely don't worry about speed. I've been at this many years now, and I'm, you know, on a scale, I would probably rate myself a 4 or 5 out of 10. Some people are just naturally faster at things, so yeah, it is what it is, if that's the biggest issue. Norman Robinson, how are you, man? Great to see your name here. Mike, you're cool, ASF. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, man. Tom Jones hit it on the head there. Focus on having fun. What's your view on the open source actuator motion systems like OpenSFX? That's a viable alternative. Great question, Norman. Thank you for that one. I really want to get into it. I'm still looking for the magic website that kind of ties everything together for me mentally, because I am somewhat interested in a motion rig. Nothing too hardcore, just something to feel a little bit of vibration, a little bit of motion would be awesome, but I'm still searching for that sort of magic instruction manual that says, okay, for $1,000, and you know, you need to buy this, and this product, use this software, here's how you tweak it to your liking. I'm very interested in that, because if you buy a completed system, obviously they're thousands of dollars, and there's no way I'm buying that right now. I'd rather have a 2080 Ti. But no, I am interested in motion rigs, but I kind of want to piecemeal it. I kind of want to, you know, take a few months or even a year or more and just buy all the pieces and then eventually get things working. But I've yet to find instructions for that. So if you guys have any leads on things I should look up in terms of how to build your own motion rig, I would appreciate it. How is your rig aging? Any quality issues since? No, good question, young daddy. I love my GT track, my Next Level Racing. I mean, no secret, Next Level Racing is a partner of my channel, and they send me stuff for free. But I love this thing. Honestly, like, I get so excited just to jump into my rig. I sim race before I go to work. It's just fun. It's just, I don't know, it's immersive. Sometimes I even put on, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but there are 5-second delay. Yes, okay, so there's seat belts with this GT track, and it just feels so immersed, and having the wheel right here at eye level, it just feels like I don't know, it's a bit of imagination, of course, but it just feels like I'm in an actual race car, and it really enhances my sim racing experience. So I love my GT track. That's not to say it's the only option on the market, but for what it is, I love it. I think it's fantastic, and no quality issues over time. Mickey, good night. Good night. Thank you for stopping by. Thomas, okay, I'm glad that helped, man. Ferrari Man says, yeah, sim racing is all about the fun. That's why I keep my channel small. It's not supposed to be a money maker for me. It's a hobby. That's great, dude, and we love your videos. Have I considered butt kickers? Not enough, Tom Jones. Good point. Good point. You say butt kickers plural. Just out of curiosity, Tom, do I need multiple or do I just need one? Yeah, Jack Thomas, great advice. MX-5, like the cup car in Assetto Corsa, very neutral handling, can be a lot of fun. Okay, oh shoot, time is getting away from me here, guys. It's 6 o'clock. new race department platform to multiplayer. I signed up for that, Raphael. I actually signed up for that as a beta tester. I was interested in starting a league or something more regular with you guys, and for whatever reason I didn't get the confirmation email, so I guess I'm not in the beta program. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in what race department's putting together. I don't really know how I feel about having sort of an FIA equivalent in sim racing. I still think we should treat it sort of as a game, but we'll see. But I think overall they have the right concept. Oh, Sightless, thank you, man. Really appreciate that. Swole Rouge. Oh, reason I built my PC and started sim racing a year ago. That's awesome, dude. That's great, man. Thank you. I'm glad it could be of some assistance. How's my AccuForce Formula rim, Mike? After 2 months, would I still recommend it? Yeah, so Cinematic Sim Racing is referring to this here. I think I only paid about 80 bucks for it. It was surprisingly cheap as far as wheels go. I thought because it's Duramold. Can you guys hear that? It's plasticky, and I was like, oh, that's not good, because it feels really slippery, and it's hard, and I was like, oh, it's not going to be great to race with. Sightless, thank you again, man. That's so awesome. So very generous of you to donate. Falling behind on questions, sorry. Cinematic, was that you that asked that question? I really like the wheel. I was going to do a follow-up video. It's on my to-do list for sure. It's been tremendous. I love racing with it. The only reason I have the round wheel on right now is because I was doing some what do they call them, the Copa trucks in AMS2, and it just kind of felt weird having the Formula rim, but I really like it. I think for the money, it's fantastic, and the Duramold doesn't bother me nearly as much. All right, I'm gonna end on this, guys. Curb Searcher says, any news on GTR 3? In a nutshell, no. I'm not sure it'll ever, pardon me. Almost made it through the whole stream without my voice cracking. I'm not sure it'll ever see the light of day, if I'm being totally honest. It's just not enough there. We've seen a few screenshots from what I understand. Nobody could tie the account it came from to the actual Simbin development team. So I'm not even sure GTR 3 is a reality. I'm not sure anybody's working on it. You would think we would have seen something by now. It would be a pleasant surprise if it did happen, but I'm not convinced that it's ever going to see the light of day. On that note, guys, Chuck does hot laps. See you later, man. Ferrari Man 601, thank you so much, man. As you know, you've been a huge inspiration for my channel for a very, very long time, and appreciate you coming by, man. As I mentioned earlier, I do plan on doing some AMS2. I'm gonna try and do some AMS2 live streaming tomorrow night. We'll see. I'll do my best to do that. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you for your questions. Thank you very much for the kind donations. Really appreciate all of you guys. I need to figure out how to stop my stream. Take care.